Hi, everybody. For this chapter, we're going to look at the laws of exponents, and eventually they're going to give us an exponential equation that we're going to solve. Before we get to that, we're going to look at some laws with exponents that we can use to help us simplify some of those problems. If you look at question one, it says evaluate using a calculator. So that's fine. It does. You can put it on the calculator and find the answers for some of these. I'm going to do some of them algebraically. Like this one, if you don't have a calculator and you see a negative exponent, we're going to go ahead and switch it. We're going to flip this and make it a positive exponent. Then we're going to use the power rule to break this up. This is 3 to the 3 divided by 2 to the 3. Now I can do these numbers, which is a 27 over 8. For number 4, you notice the power is 0. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So that's 5 to the 0 power is 1. It doesn't matter what it is. X to the 0 power is 1. For number 5, I'm going to use that first property. I'm going to, same base, we're going to combine these exponents. So that will give me f 5 to the third power. And you can multiply 5 times 5 times 5 and get the answer. For this one, this is what we have to learn. We have to fix the base to be the same so we can simplify it without using a calculator. So 8, base 64, base 16. I can change all of them, all these bases into a base 2. The 8 can be written as 2 to the 3. Then I have the other 3 times the 64 is 2 to the 6 with the negative 1 on the top. The 16 is 2 to the 4, and I still have that 2 power. So now you notice all the bases are 2's. Now we can solve this and find the answer a little easier. When you have a power and power like this, you multiply. So this is 2 to the 9 times 2 to the negative 1 times 6 is negative 6 over 2 to the 8. One of the rules with exponents that we can bring stuff up and down. So I'm going to go ahead and bring everything up. So I have 2 to the 9, 2 to the negative 6, and I'm going to bring 2 to the 8 up. So I'm going to change the sign on the 8. And that's going to give me 2 to the, add all these numbers, 9 minus 6 minus 8. And that's going to give me 2 to the negative 5. I can go ahead and switch this to the bottom, make it 2 to the positive 5. And that's going to give me the answer to this problem. It's 1 over 32. I know these are numbers and you can do them on the calculator, but that's not our objective because eventually we have to fix the base. If we look at number 7, it says use the laws of exponents to simplify each of the following. When you have something like this in parentheses, do the numbers first, multiply. 3 times 4 is a 12. Then I have 8 to the 1 times 8 to the 3. Same base with multiplication like this, the rule says you add the exponents. So that's what we're going to do. So it's 12a to the 4, and that's all they're asking me, is to simplify this. I'm going to do the same thing with number 8. I'm going to simplify the numbers first. With a 27 and a 48, I can simplify by 9, so that's a 3. By 9, that's a 5. Then I'm going to take care of the letters, A's with A's, B's with B's, and C's with C's. So I'll bring everything up, then I'll flip them if I have to. So remember, when you bring this 4 up, you're going to subtract. The only b we have is b to the 3, so that's it. We'll leave it alone. I have c to the 5. I'm going to bring this 2 up, so I subtract. So I have a 3/5. Take care of these numbers. 3 minus 4, that's a negative 1. B to the 3. And for the c, 2 minus 2 is a 3. So that's good. The only thing I need to take care of is this negative exponent. I'm going to go ahead and flip it and put it on the bottom. So your answer is going to look like this. 3b to the 3, c to the 3, divided by 5, a to the 1, or just a. We go to the next page, number 9. All right, so we notice that we have a lot of stuff in parentheses taken to a power. So what we're going to do is you're going to take each one of those things inside the parentheses to the third power. And we'll show all the steps for this one. So that's a negative 3 to the third, x to the 1 to the third, y to the 2 to the third. The negative 3 to the third, I can do that. If you have a calculator, that's fine. That's a negative 27. This one, I have to use the power and power rule, which is multiplication. So this is x to the 3 times 1 is a 3. Y, 3 times 2 is a 6. That's the answer. If you look at example 10, we have the same base a. The rule says you add the exponents. So that's what I'm going to do. X plus 3 plus x minus 3. Then I'll take care of the addition and subtractions. I have an x plus x is 2x. I have a plus 3 minus 3, that's a 0. So the answer to this problem is a to the power 2x. Look at number 11. When you have a fraction or division like this, remember it's x's with x's, y's with y's, and z's with z's. So I'm going to take care of the x's first. And what I'm going to do with these lessons, I'm just going to bring everything up. And when I'm done, if I have a negative exponent, I'm going to flip it back. So I have a negative 2. Remember, you subtract what you bring. So I'm going to subtract a negative 3. I have y to the 3. I'm going to bring the 2. I subtract the 2. I already have the z to the negative 1. Now I'm going to take care of the numbers. Double negative on the 3 makes it positive, minus 2, so that's a 1. Y, 3 minus 2 is a 1, and I have the z to the negative 1. And like I said, so I have x times y. Because I have a negative exponent, I'm going to go ahead and flip it and put it on the bottom with a positive exponent. For number 12,